spring almost. This is Jennifer, and she's got the karaoke mic.
Yeah, I may break out in song.
So, as the introduction suggested or told you, I am Carole Murko. Heirloom Meals is about treasured family recipes, stories, and tips, and I'm chronicling those through a blog, radio show, future book, and hopefully future television show. So if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor me, please check with us later. So the theme of this flower show this year was out of the container gardens. And so what we decided to do was out of the container and into the pan, and we are going to give you a three-course, a full meal, which is we're going to have a dessert, which you have to do first, and then we're going to do an herbed pasta salad and a herbed pesto rubbed pork tenderloin that, of course, through the magic of doing it beforehand, we've grilled before we came here. But we're going to do all the steps, and then we'll have the tasting afterwards. So, does anybody know the difference between an herb and a spice? Hello. All right. I can't hear you.
Spices.
Yeah, spice is the seed, and the herbs are more of the green seed.
Okay. So we're sticking with the green stuff. And so one of the things that we wanted to do was do something with the simple syrup. And as most of you will learn or already know, the simple syrup is exactly that. Very simple. It's 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water, and then you can infuse it with anything. We actually infused it with some nice mint, and so we did a mint simple syrup, and we're going to macerate some strawberries, and then we're going to let those macerate first, and while we're doing the rest of the demo, that'll let the strawberries create its own juice and sweetness, and you have a very simple dessert. I suggest serving it over vanilla ice cream, but we don't have that for you today. So this is about 4 cups of strawberries, and I suggested about a 1/4 cup of the simple syrup, which I already made. Maybe if we could send this around, you guys could smell it. It smells really delicious. I can. Here you go. And so just keep in mind that simple syrup recipe, you could do the same thing with a handful of basil or anything savory. Jen loves to make all kinds of martinis, mojitos. What else? Where's your mic?
It's over there. It's hard to do both.
No, you're not doing that now. All right. So these. All right. So I figured these we're going to set aside macerating. So macerating, I already told you the definition, right? Okay. It's a breakdown of sugars in the fruit. So next we're going to do is the pasta salad. Once again, I actually cooked the pasta at home and brought it here. And we recommend using a nice tricolor rotini because it's actually really pretty. And I think you guys can see, right? Okay.
It's tough for us to see.
They can't hear you. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm going to suggest that it also, the oils in the pasta absorb all the oils in the dressing, so it holds on to the pasta.
Right. And so what we do is after the pasta comes out of the pot, we put in a 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then you could set that aside and let it cool. And because of the container garden theme, we thought it'd be lovely to do something with both chives and tarragon. And so this is a Tarragon-Chive pasta salad, and so the amounts are on your sheet. I can't honestly remember what they were. I think it's a 1/4 cup of chives and a couple of tablespoons of tarragon. And we mix that in there with 3/4 cup of scallions, which did not come out of the container garden, but you get the drift. So we mix those together, and then we make our dressing. And the dressing, Jen, let's see. I want you to tell me how much I'm supposed to give you here. She can't read without her glasses. This is what happens,
Thank you. And I hear you over there calling.
Okay.
What do you put for dressing?
Dressing.
Okay. We have a 1/4 cup of champagne vinegar.
Okie dokie. And I like the champagne vinegar because it's nice and light. If you're a real balsamic vinegar lover, go for it. But we recommend not using the balsamic because the pasta salad will get kind of brown, and I don't think it looks as pretty. And so a 1/4 cup of the.
We did 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
Okay.
And a teaspoon of sugar after that.
Do anybody have Grey Poupon? Okay. And then. Okay, I can read it. Then we've got a teaspoon of sugar. And we've got 4 cloves of garlic minced. And salt and pepper to taste. Chime in whenever you want, Jen. Olive oil.
Don't forget the 1/2 cup of olive oil.
What's that?
Don't forget the 1/2 cup of olive oil.
Thank you for reminding me.
That goes in at the end at a slow pour, so it gives it like an emulsification.
All right, so Jen, I'm gonna get the 1/4.
Well, those are funny.
1/2 cup of olive oil coming right up.
Okay.
All right, so now, as Jennifer said, okay, pour. Now,
Slow, steady pour.
she's going to talk. Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
All right. So the slow, steady pour is so that you get the full incorporation of the. She's bossing me around. Okay. You get the slow, steady pour so that you get the full incorporation of the oil.
The Dijon helps it to emulsify and become a little bit thicker.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Enough talking.
Enough talking. Enough said already. So, and I noticed I forgot something else, which is on here, which are red pepper flakes. So, so we were flaky this morning and forgot the red pepper flakes. Sorry.
Still delicious.
All right. So, it's so simple. You just pour it over. And how does this have anything to do with heirloom meals? It's basic vinaigrette. I mean, the way I look at this is like my mom, probably most of your moms, even you as moms and non-moms and people know how to make a basic vinaigrette. That's what that is. And we just thought, why not just use that nice basic vinaigrette over pasta instead of salad? But you could use it for salad dressing as well. So totally recommend it. And so, what's up, Jen? Okay. So there you have it. Simple, like it's Tarragon-Chive Pasta Salad, 3-color pasta salad. We have some that's actually been made a day ahead, so you'll get to have both or all. And the other thing is I know that I need some salt in both of them because I don't actually use that much salt when I cook, but I think that I like people to add their own salt given their taste buds, but I tasted this before and it just definitely begged for some salt. And so there's there's the side. So now, before we get to the main dish, there's a list going around that we're asking everybody for their name, and we're going to have a little drawing at the end of the demo, and I have an Heirloom Meals recipe box and a lovely set of heirloom matches. So hopefully, is there a clipboard going around?
I think Jim's doing
It's right there. Okay. So make sure if you didn't sign it, we won't do it until everybody's signed it. So we are going to do a pesto rubbed pork, and generally I think pesto made with an overabundance of basil is too strong. So what I've done is kind of the opposite, and I've done the half of the amount of basil and parsley, and I have salt right here, John. Okay. So we've got 2 pork tenderloins, and unfortunately, because we're at the flower show, we couldn't do the barbecuing here, so we're just going to do the rub, show you how to do it, and then we barbecued it yesterday. Grilled it, and
big difference.
it is a big difference. Sorry. Okay, so Alrighty. So when I do the pesto, I always start with the garlic in the food processor because that's the part that I really want to make sure gets mostly chopped up because I hate getting a chunk of garlic, big chunk of garlic. And next we're going to add our basil and our parsley. And as you can see, this I've got about 2 cups of basil, and it was lightly packed. I didn't do it firmly packed, but I mean, if you love basil more than you like parsley, go for it. Okay, why don't you do it like you're singing?
I got that love in me.
She can sing, yeah. Oh, I know what I forgot.
What is that?
Well, you know, because we thought we were dealing with herbs, we decided to be the green goddesses. Okay, so.
I feel so much prettier now.
Here we go. So, you know, and if you don't have a food processor, you can use a blender, you can use a mini prep. I suggest getting a food processor. It makes life easy. Alright, so then we've got the walnuts. I use walnuts, not pine nuts. I like walnuts better. I didn't I only am using about a 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese because this is not actually pesto sauce, it's a rub. So I didn't really want it to become overly cheesy. And I'm going to let those all incorporate. And, oh yes, you, woo! Sorry, that's fine. Alright, and now, my olive oil. So I know I gave you a distinct measurement, but I'm just going to pour it in because... Right there. That's all I have. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, this is like nice and bright green, and it's not the same exact consistency of pesto. It's a little bit less juicy. And, you know, there's nothing elegant about this next step. So, basically take the pesto and you rub it into your pork. And over there, Jen is cutting it. We'll show you what it looks like the before and after.
It ruined the sign. Yeah.
And gives it, I'm sure Jen's talking and I'm going to say what she's saying. It gives it a nice green crust. And basically, I marinate this overnight, and then right before you want to grill it, we take it out, and usually things grill up better if you let it come up a little bit more to room temperature than keeping it right out of the fridge, because then it just takes longer to cook, and then you end up burning the outside more than it needs to be. And okay, and after it finishes, you want to put it on a cutting board and tent it, and so it'll finish, cooking, and then save all the delicious juices that run off, and then it should be ready to slice. And the other thing is, we've suggested that this would be a really lovely appetizer on like a little on fruit, on like little baguette pieces, and you could slice those thin, or you could serve. This will probably serve 4 to 6 people for dinner, sliced thicker. So you really have lots of options with this dish. And so let's see, Jen, let me bring that up here so people can see it. That, I want them to see it finished. All right, she's going to get the one that's done so you can... Yeah, there's no mirror, yeah.
Watch the knife.
Okay. She's getting the knife. Okay. So what you can basically see is there's some nicely browned, and then you can see the nice green still exists, and it's really quite juicy and lovely and wonderful. So here we've got it. We've got a lovely, out of the container into the pan, we have a grilled pesto pork tenderloin with a pasta salad with chives and tarragon, and then macerated strawberries with a mint simple syrup. So there's your perfect springtime meal from your container garden. And now is that sheet still going around with everybody's names? And I can take questions.
Just gotta push
Sorry.
the thing.
Oh yes, absolutely. You can. I would actually sear it on the stove first. Yeah.
Get a cast iron.
In like a cast iron pan, and then bake it in the oven for. This really cooks fast, so 350 for 20 minutes or 30 minutes to your doneness. Because now pork, as everybody, I grew up in. Pork was supposed to be well done because we could get trichinosis, but that doesn't. Those days are over. You do not have to cook pork until it's like dry as all can be. It can be medium to medium well, and it's still completely. It won't kill you.
It's nice.
That's encouraging. You really should give us two of these. It's nice also too after you slice it, to just drizzle a little fresh olive oil over it, or even like a seasoned olive oil over it, like a pesto. Like a parsley olive oil or a basil infused olive oil.
Okay. So, any other questions?
You're serving the tenderloins cold?
Yes, room temperature. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be the ideal scenario for like a cocktail party, like an hors d'oeuvre. And or it's also nice if you're having guests and you want to barbecue. It does taste nice. It really tastes delicious at room temperature, so you can get it all done and then enjoy your guests, which is also really, really kind of nice instead of slaving over the stove. Or at least you could slave over the stove before your guests arrive, and then they don't need to know it. I actually brought the pepper to adorn the pasta salad, but do you think we need it? No. She said no. But if you really wanted to put the finishing touch on, just slice the pepper thinly and then put little strips on top, so it gives it.
Garnish too with herbs.
Oh, absolutely, definitely. We could pull off the herbs. You could garnish with the herbs, with pepper, even cherry tomatoes. If you have a container cherry tomato garden, throw a few cherry tomatoes in there. So did everybody sign the?
Up here.
Oh, Jim, not everybody. Who's the clipboard?
It's circulating.
Okay, it's circulating.
It's still circulating.
So please stay. We have plenty of food. We're going to dish it out. And I'd love if you guys had any more questions or... Yes. Yes, yes.
All over.
Like
a suntan lotion. All over.
there's still stuff in here, but yeah, it's completely... and these tenderloins are actually bigger than the ones that... see, it's pretty done. I just didn't get the end.
Carole,
yes.
Move it forward to see in the mirror.
Okay.
Yes. Oh,
there you go.
Sorry. Yes. Oh, chicken, absolutely. Instead of pork, if you don't eat pork,
shrimp.
You could do shrimp.
Fish.
Shrimp would be delicious. Or scallops would be amazing. Nice scrod, seeing that we're in Boston. What else, Jen? Tuna, swordfish,
You can put that over a pasta as well.
Oh yeah,
Pesto.
just put a little more olive oil in it than we did if you wanted to use it as pesto, yes? Like that? You can't see it in the mirror?
Yeah.
Now we can.
Okay, now you can? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
On the simple syrup,
Yes.
as you cook the mint with the
Yes.
syrup,
Yes.
and then you take the mint
Take
out.
the mint out. I use the strainer. Yes.
Oh, so you strain it.
Leave it right on the tray. Right on the
Oh yeah, no.
stand.
So the question is, do you put the mint right in? I left it on the stem. I probably put about this much in, like a handful.
But then you strain it out.
And then I strain it out, yeah. And then if I were serving it over ice cream, I would put a couple of mint leaves for the garnish. Yes. No.
No,
Right.
that's like
Except, you know what? For shrimp or scallops.
Not overnight though.
Yeah, well,
Not overnight.
4 hours. 4 hours.
What was the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. if we were putting the rub on fish, was it still overnight? And so we have a peanut gallery. We have a disagreement. Jen says no. You don't know. I said 4 hours. 4 hours. Okay. And how's that sheet of paper going around?
It still has to go.
Still coming?
I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to start dishing out. I'm going to try to find another paper towel. If there are no more questions, and we could eat up. So thank you. And oh, by the way, the other thing that with the heirloom meals, if anybody, I know you see the little check mark about a treasured family recipe. I blog on a daily basis, and I have a weekly radio show on NPR out in the Berkshires. And I would love if anybody would be interested in calling into the show and sharing their treasured family recipes and the stories that go along with the recipe and how it's been handed down through the generations and why it's such an important connector between, you know, food and family and the future. And, you know, it's really, really important to stay connected to our roots through food and family recipes, and that's what Heirloom Meals is all about. So I thank everybody. I want to do the drawing.